remember the first time I turned on the camera. It was just me, a cheap microphone, and the cold white glow of the monitor lighting up my face. I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be a safe space. Playing my favorite games, talking to people who shared the same passion, it seemed simple, easy. But no one told me that the moment I went live, I was opening a door to a room full of voices that would never let me sleep again. At first, there were barely any viewers. 2, 3, sometimes none. But I kept talking because everyone said successful streamers never stop talking, even when no one's listening. So I talked. About anything. About the game, about my day, about the weather outside. And then one day, someone joined the chat. And another. And another. Suddenly, 5 people were watching. It felt like a huge victory. I smiled, I got excited, I thanked every follower like it was a gift. But with those followers came the messages. The first ones were harmless, "Hi, good luck." But that didn't last long. "Show your face better. Smile more. Take off the jacket." I laughed it off, pretended it didn't bother me. But it did. Because every word stuck in my head like a stain that doesn't come out, no matter how hard you scrub. And the bigger I got, the louder those voices became. It didn't matter how well I played, how hard I fought for a win. What mattered was how I looked on camera. What I was wearing. Whether I was pretty enough to deserve the sub. That's when I realized I wasn't just competing in the game. I was competing with myself, against an invisible mirror that never stopped pointing out flaws. I started adjusting the camera to look thinner. I started wearing makeup even when I didn't want to. I forced myself to smile constantly, even when I was tired or sad. Because if I didn't, someone in chat would say, "Are you PMSing? Wow, you seem moody." Like my worth was always hanging by the thread of a fake smile. Little by little, that white glow stopped feeling neutral. It started burning me. Because behind the screen, I wasn't just me anymore. I was a character who had to be happy, pretty, entertaining. A character who was never allowed to log off. And then came the numbers. Always the numbers. How many followers? How many views? How many donations? Every notification felt like a weight. If the numbers went up, I felt relief. If they dropped, I blamed myself. I started streaming longer hours. Entire nights. Sometimes without eating, without sleeping properly, just to stay relevant. Because in this world, if you disappear for a day, someone takes your place. But the worst part wasn't the exhaustion. It was the loneliness. Because no matter how many people were watching, I had never felt so alone. None of those messages said who I really was. They only said who they wanted me to be. And over time, I started forgetting the difference. I thought things would get better when I gained more followers. I thought more people meant more support, more respect. But I was wrong. Every new follower was another voice judging me, another expectation I had to meet. I wasn't streaming for fun anymore, I was streaming to survive in an invisible jungle. And the more I grew, the more the rules changed without my consent. At first, it was just annoying comments. Then came the DMs, long messages describing in detail what they do to me, as if my body were the prize of a game I never agreed to play. Block them? I did. But they always came back with new accounts. Always. Every notification made my heart race. Not with excitement, with fear. Fear of opening a message and seeing something I didn't want to read, but already knew would be there. One day, someone found my real name. Then my address. At first, I thought it was just a scare tactic, one of those things people say online to mess with you. until flowers showed up at my door. No note. No explanation. Just flowers, like a silent message, I know where you live. That night, I didn't sleep. I locked every door, every window, but I couldn't stop shaking. Because the screen that once felt like a barrier was now a wide-open window for anyone to step through. And still, I kept streaming. Because I had to. Because I was afraid of disappearing and all my effort going to waste. I smiled at the camera, thanked for donations, pretended everything was fine. But inside, I was breaking. Every disgusting comment, every threat chipped away at me. And when I turned off the stream, I stared at the black screen, wondering when I lost control. I stopped going out. Stopped answering calls. Friends stopped inviting me because I always said no. And in the silence of my room, I stared at that little red light on my camera, wondering if this was what I wanted for my life. Wondering if I still had a life outside that screen. Sometimes, I still ask myself if it's worth it. Because no matter what I achieve, there will always be someone saying I only made it because I'm a woman. There will always be someone trying to reduce me to a body, a smile, an image they can consume and throw away. No one sees the sleepless nights, the crying fits, the times I ended the stream and sat in silence, feeling the weight of the world on me. Being a streamer isn't just gaming. It's exposure. It's opening the doors to your home, your body, your mind, and praying no one steps through. But they always do. And when they do, there's no button to protect you. Sometimes I wish I could go back, before the first stream, before the first comment, before all of this. But I can't. Because now, I'm not just me. I'm a character trapped inside a screen. A screen that never sleeps. A screen that never lets me turn off.